What's the
Heroes.
earliest
Oh,
anime
Heroes.
slash manga you can think of?
Earliest what?
Astro Boy.
Yep, I played Astro Boy,
Oh, that game's
Mega
sick. I
Factor.
played that too.
Yes.
Yeah, played that for Game Talk. I didn't finish it. It's got about 7 worlds. I cleared about 3 of them, just in the interest of time, but it's enough to talk about the general experience. I don't know why I know what Astro Boy is, and I've known for a long time because in doing some research on the series, this was like the first game that even came overseas, and I don't remember watching it on TV or anything, but it's had like 3 serialized animes. It was a manga back in the 50s and the 60s. It's actually really cool. I went ahead and watched one of the early episodes, and it held up pretty well. I was getting kind of like Popeye vibes, but with more of like a social commentary on like robot rights. Pretty fascinating. This game has a plot, but it's primarily a beat 'em up slash shooter. You use Astro Boy's ray gun, but you can also do punches and level up aspects of kind of a skill tree or a skill panel, I guess if you want to go with the robot angle. The plot takes elements from several of the reboots of Astro Boy over the years, like the robot rights, but also several of the characters and stuff. Didn't follow it too much. I honestly just skipped it because the gameplay was the meat and potatoes. It was developed, I want to get this right, by Treasure
Mhm.
and Hitmaker. Treasure is known for just having all around bangers, Gunstar Heroes, Sin and Punishment. What's the other one that
Wario
DZD likes?
World.
I like Warrior World, but I think he's Mischief Makers is what I was
Just
going for.
kidding.
And published by Sega. So, that's immediately a positive sign for this game. It's got kind of that awesome beat 'em up gameplay, side scrolling. They're very creative with the visuals. It's like a very visually breathtaking game. You might have like super oversized versions of like these robots in the streets, or like miniature versions and they're swarming the screen. You might have a zero gravity level. You might have a level that's solely Astro Boy with his jetpacks and kind of like flying back and forth, firing his laser, and you can kind of hammer the laser button. They do very interesting things with enemies getting bigger and taking up a lot of the screen. It just looks really good, and a lot of that is seen in like Gunstar Heroes too. They're really good with the 2D side scroller gameplay. It was criticized for some repetitiveness. I kind of see that, like there's some repetition, and a lot of it is waiting till you get to the cool boss or whatever. Some very weird things about the game, such as like with the skill tree, every time you meet a new character, you get a bump to your skill tree. But some of it comes up at weird parts, like you have to do the whole tutorial in order to get a skill bonus, or you watch the entire credits to get a skill bonus, and they're just like weird features. Also, it is one of those games that is a make you play it twice to see the true ending type of game, and that's kind of a turn off for me. I don't necessarily want to play the same game twice. It is short enough. I don't think it would be a big hassle, but um, I get it for plot points. Um, Very impressive. It's listed on in this book called 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die. So I don't like. I mean, I don't know if I would go so far as to say that, but it is a really good and good experience. A great platformer on the GBA. It's also hard as nails. Treasure is known for some difficulty for me. I used to have trouble with Gunstar Heroes back in the day, but it do have an easy mode, so I recommend playing it on that. Astro Boy Omega Factor.
I just wanted to add, hold on. I just wanted to add that I believe it's based on the 2000s anime, which I have on DVD. I really like that anime. But also, did you know, this is some Did You Know Gaming time, that there was a PS2 companion game made by Sonic Team, and it's fucking weird.
Saw bits about the PS2 game.
Yeah, it's
That
bizarre.
did that get a North American release?
I actually own it.
Okay.
I would guess if it's supposed to.
Previously, this game came out under a different name on the NES. Not this game per se, but like Astro Boy was getting games on the Famicom and Super Famicom called Mighty Atom. I think that's the Japanese name for the anime.
Uh,
I've never played those.
this game's really cool. I liked it a lot. They always said that like one of the big advertising things for the Game Boy Advance was like it's good enough to like emulate the Super Nintendo graphically, like in power. And I think it's games like Astro Boy that show you not only can it emulate the Super Nintendo, it can do a lot of things way better. They do so many cool tricks with the camera and so many cool like effects. And this kind of brought, I think we talked about this in one of the other episodes, but one of those Flash kind of style of animation, which I'm not entirely opposed of. I think this game handled it really, really well. And the animations just look really clean, really cool, and have a lot of pop to them. So I was blown away by this game graphically. It's definitely feels like an arcade experience on the handheld.
Yeah, well, this game's by Treasure. I have also played it, and it's really cool. Spencer, I think what you said about the game, about the Super Nintendo comparison thing, I think it honestly goes for all four of the games we've talked about today. But definitely Astro Boy, because Treasure always is always on their top game with anything I've played by them. Honestly, I don't think I've played maybe like Ronald McDonald's McDonald Land, or whatever the fuck that game's called on Genesis. But like, still, like Treasure is usually on top of their game, and they know how to bring the presentation.
Circle of the Moon is a bit reduced in terms of visuals. I mean, the guy's got a plain blocky face, as far as I remember, and they just do like the one color outlines of the characters. So I think Circle of the Moon does leave a bit to be desired.
So
Generally, I would agree that Game Boy Advance does have that Super Nintendo quality. You could play like basically perfect renditions of the Donkey Kong Country and Link to the Past.
Mario World. I played Mario World on GBA first.
Mario.
Mario.
You guys played that shit Astro Boy game on the Wii?
No, that's the one based on the movie, right?
Astro Boy, the video game.
Yeah, that's based on the weird American CG movie.
Yeah, usually when they say the video game underneath the title, it's usually not a good thing.
Are you now interested in watching the 2000s anime now that you've played this?
Oh yeah, I'm interested in watching the '60s one if I can find more.
Oh, those are good too. Yeah, it's classic.
Watched the first episode. I really liked it. It had great commentary, and like I said, it held up well. I think that the color version might be the same, like the '80s one might be a version of that old school one. So I'd be interested in watching that. I'd be interested in doing discourse on it if we want to watch that.
Astro Boy month.
Oh yeah, I don't know what there is to talk about, like what Gabe talks there, but to map out the video game. Actually, you ever play Astro Boy?
I've played a little bit of it. I know it's on the arcade thing that I have, but I've never like rented it or anything like that.
The arcade thing you have?
Yeah, I have one of those arcade sticks that has like thousands of games on it. I like bought like a bar stools and a TV, and pretty much in the corner of my room have a whole setup with the arcade.
He's never invited me over.
Rip.
Yeah, I bought 2 stools.
Have chicken. We'll play.
I got pizza rolls. Let's go.
So we need chicken and pizza rolls.
But I know I've seen some of those games on there for sure, but I've never actually owned one of them.
Wow. Bangers, all bangers today. I'd be glad I didn't stick with SimCity 2000. That really was rough. I bought that recently in like an eBay lot of GBA games, because I do like just owning GBA games to play on my actual GBA. And I forgot what I was actually buying it. I think I bought it for like, because the lot was super cheap, and it came with Pac-Man Pinball, which I wanted, and some other games. But it also came with like Peter Pan and SimCity 2000. And Jesus fucking Christ, guys, SimCity. I'm sure you guys have some experience with SimCity in some way, but a lot of menu management and a lot of management of the screen itself, and trying to do that on something that has 2 face buttons and 2 shoulder buttons is a fucking nightmare. Just trying to align my streets to like make my city was unbearable. So I quickly had to abandon SimCity 2000.
It's 2022. I mean, like, times have changed.
Yeah, it's true. I need SimCity 2022.
for sure. You forgot to
You guys
announce
want-
the theme for next month. Probably do that. Big
SimCity?
one.
No theme.
No theme July. Not at all. Be no theme to the content.
If you can
Comes out
think
in
of it,
July.
then it's not there.
Do you guys want to hear
Related.
the GBA startup sound?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Oh, I gotta make sure the volume's up. Isn't that beautiful?
Did it.
Something.
Oh yeah.
Turned it on.
Yeah.
I
No,
turn on my consoles.
that was Mega Man Zero. Join us next month. We're doing Game Gear month. Spencer's going to be playing the Shining Force games, both of them on Game Gear. Teddy,
It'll
will
be sucktastic.
That's Kirby Mouth. We already did that one.
Oh,
Teddy will be playing Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine and or Sonic Spinball on Game Gear. And I'm going to play Shinobi.
Game Boys. Game
Years.
Girls.
Game gals.
All right, game men. It was a good show. We really rubbed one out.
It's a super game episode.
What was that word, Teddy?
Capitulated.
Yeah, we capitulated all over each other.
Consider this game talk capitulated.
Thanks for capitulating.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.